Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Monday, April 17th, 2023. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We have reports today on 4 different major events from 4 different companies that took place last night in 4 different countries. A new Impact World Heavyweight Champion was crowned last night at Impact Rebellion, presented live on pay-per-view from the Rebel Entertainment Complex in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. In a match to fill the vacancy left by the injured Josh Alexander, Steve Maclin defeated Kushida in 18 minutes and 28 seconds by pinfall to become the new Impact World Champion. After the match, Maclin blindsided Impact President Scott D'Amore with the title belt and was confronted by Nick Aldis, who had just before the match announced his full-time return to the company for the first time in 8 years.
Nick, welcome. Tell us all, what are you doing here?
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Hey, listen, here's how it goes. The conversations have ended. The deal is done. Nick Aldis is back in Impact Wrestling, and the first order of business was Scott D'Amore asked me to be here tonight because the corporate bigwigs, the movers and shakers are here, and I said, no, for this match, I got to be where the action is because I got my sights set on the world title from day one. So I'm here to see who's going to stand in my way, gents.
Following the show, new Impact World Champion Steve Maclin spoke in a Twitter exclusive promo.
There isn't much to say. You are looking at your new Impact World Champion, Steve Maclin. And I said it for 2 years since I breached down the doors in this building, that I was going to stack bodies one by one until I got this target on my shoulder. There is no target on my back. It says front towards enemy on my chest for a reason. So if you want a shot, please stand in line, take your shot. Because it's just going to be like the rest of the times. Tag 'em, bag 'em, and mayhem for all.
The win marks the first World Championship reign for 10-year veteran Maclin. The vacancy of the Impact Knockouts World title was also filled at Rebellion, with Deonna Purrazzo capturing the prize for the 3rd time by defeating former 2-time champion Jordynne Grace in 17 minutes and 5 seconds. The title had been vacated due to injury by Mickie James last week. One night after losing the New Japan World Openweight Tag Team title, the Motor City Machine Guns were unsuccessful in winning the Impact World Tag Team title, losing to champions Ace Austin and Chris Bay in 13 minutes and 6 seconds in an Ultimate X match. Santino Marella made his Impact in-ring debut, teaming with Dirty Dango and Impact Digital Media champion Joe Hendry to defeat the Design in a 3-on-4 handicap match. Also on the show, Trey Miguel retained the X Division Championship in an elimination match with Speedball Mike Bailey and Jonathan Gresham, and the Coven retained the Impact Knockouts Tag Team title on the Countdown show against Death Dolls. In other Rebellion results, Team Dreamer defeated Team Bully Ray in a 10-person hardcore war match, and PCO beat Eddie Edwards in a last rites match. AAA held the first night of TripleMania 31 live last night on pay-per-view from Monterrey, Mexico. In the main event, AAA Mega Champion Hijo del Vikingo made his 12th defense of the title and his first of the year on a AAA promoted show, defeating Commander Rich Swann and Swerve Strickland in 22 minutes and 16 seconds in a 4-way match.
30 grados! ¡Qué locura! ¡Viene el conteo! 1, 2 y 3! ¡En qué batalla! En el evento central de TripleMania, el hijo del vikingo va a seguir como mega campeón AAA.
By virtue of the win, Vikingo officially marks 500 days as AAA Mega Champion as of today. He is the 3rd longest reigning Mega Champion in the 16-year history of the title, after Kenny Omega and El Texano Jr. In first-round matches in the Guerra de Rivalidades tournament, Alberto El Patron and Pentagon Jr. defeated Psycho Clown and Sam Adonis, and DMT Azul and Blue Demon Jr. defeated Roosh and L.A. Park, with the losers advancing to the next round per the rules of the tournament on the next night of TripleMania next June in Tijuana. The 41-year veteran L.A. Park was the only competitor on the show to have also wrestled at the first TripleMania in 1993, where he lost to Lismark. In the opening match, Laredo Kid, Black Taurus, Octagon Jr., El Hijo del Villano III, Aerostar, Park Negra, and Abismo Negra Jr. went over Sexy Star, Dulce Canela, and Mystices Jr. in a Lucha de Apuestas cage match. Prior to the start, Laredo Kid attacked Antifaz del Norte of the opposing team, causing him to be removed from the match. Later in the night, Mystices Jr. beat Sexy Star 2 and Dulce Canela in a mask versus mask match. In other TripleMania results, 32-year veteran Vampiro defeated Chessman, and in a match for the TripleMania Cup, Team Rejos defeated Team Chalangos. Also on Sunday evening, New Japan Pro Wrestling presented Collision in Philadelphia live on pay-per-view from the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia. In the main event, the team of Aussie Open successfully retained the New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team Championship with a victory over Tomohiro Ishii and Leo Rush. Kyle Fletcher pinned Rush in 20 minutes and 58 seconds after Fletcher and partner Mark Davis used their Coriolis finisher, a modified double-team Death Valley driver on Rush, leading to the pin. Aussie Open, who are also the IWGP World Tag Team Champions, had won the Strong titles on Saturday in Washington, D.C. from the Motor City Machine Guns in a three-way match that also included Kazuchika Okada and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Tanahashi was originally slated to be part of the main event, teaming with Ishii and Rush against Aussie Open and TJP, but was announced as being pulled from the show due to suffering a rib injury. TJP also missed the event due to what the company blamed on travel issues. The first bout to declare the next contender to Kenny Omega's IWGP United States title also saw a change, although in this case it was for storyline reasons. New Japan announced that Juice Robinson was being suspended for attacking Fred Rosser, as well as physically assaulting an official prior to their match at Saturday's show in Washington. As a result, Rosser took Robinson's place in his match against Lance Archer, which Archer eventually won by pinfall. Before the match, Archer had challenged Rosser to wrestle him under street fight rules, which Rosser accepted. The stipulation opened up the opportunity for Robinson to interfere, leading to the finish. Archer now moves on to face the winner of Hiroshi Tanahashi and Will Ospreay, which is scheduled to take place on May 21st in Long Beach, California, although that bout may be in jeopardy due to Tanahashi's injured rib. The tournament final is scheduled to take place on June 4th in Osaka, with the winner moving on to face Omega for the U.S. title at Forbidden Door 2 on June 25th in Toronto. Also on the show, Tetsuya Naito and Hiromu Takahashi defeated Chase Owens and Kenta. After the bout, Takahashi told Rocky Romero that an American version of the All-Star Junior Festival would take place in Philadelphia on August 19th. The inaugural festival concept, which was held on March 1st in Tokyo, featured nearly 50 wrestlers from 22 different promotions across Japan. In other results, IWGP World Champion Sonata teamed with Yoshinobu Kanemaru to defeat Homicide and CMLL NWA Historic Welterweight Champion Rocky Romero when Sonata pinned Homicide. Orange Cassidy made the 19th defense of the AEW International Championship, defeating Gabriel Kidd. Filthy Tom Lawler, Royce Isaacs, and Jarrell Nelson knocked off Zack Sabre Jr., Shane Haste, and Bad Dude Tito in a six-man tag. Alex Coughlin defeated Tracy Williams in a Ring of Honor-style Pure Rules match. Clark Connors pinned the DKC. And in the opener, Desperado and Volador Jr. defeated Delirious and Kevin Knight. Pro Wrestling Noah presented their Green Journey 2023 in Sendai show from the Zebbio Arena in Sendai, Miyagi on Sunday. In the main event, Jake Lee made the first defense of his first Global Honored Crown heavyweight title reign by defeating Katsuhiko Nakajima in 22 minutes and 58 seconds, pinning him after delivering a head kick. Lee had won the title from Kaito Kiyomiya on March 19th, and with the victory, now moves on to defend against Naomichi Marufuji at Sumo Hall in Tokyo on May 4th. Earlier in the evening, Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. successfully defended the GHC National Championship for the third time, turning back the challenge of Jack Morris. While the company's main singles titles stood pat, 3 other championships changed hands during the course of the night. Hayata defeated Amakusa to claim the GHC Junior Heavyweight title, ending Amakusa's reign at 115 days. Takashi Sugiura and Shuhei Taniguchi upended Masa Kitamiya and Daiki Inaba to win the GHC Tag Team Championship, and Yohei and Tadasuke knocked off Yoshinori Ogawa and Aita to take home the GHC Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.